Welcome to our channel Valuable Coins All World. In this video, I gave you information about United States of America Washington quarter dollar, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please see this full video. Thanks. Top 1. The United States has a rich history when it comes to coins, and among them, the Washington quarter dollar holds a particularly fascinating place. It's a coin that has seen many changes over the decades, yet some versions are exceptionally rare, making them incredibly valuable to collectors today. You might be wondering, what makes the Washington quarter from 1965 stand out? Is there something special about it that makes it worth so much more than its face value? In 1965, the United States underwent a major shift in its coinage system. Due to a national coin shortage, the government decided to reduce the silver content in most of its coins, including the quarter. Prior to this, quarters were made of 90% silver. But with the decision in 1965, they were now composed of just 40% silver. It was this alteration that set the stage for certain quarters, like the 1965 Washington quarter, to eventually become highly sought after by collectors. But not every 1965 quarter is a rare find. What makes the 1965 Washington quarter particularly valuable is its rarity, condition, and some unique features that were noticed by sharp-eyed collectors. Over the years, some of these quarters had minting errors, such as double die errors, which made them stand out from the regular production run. These errors are not always visible to the naked eye, but they play a crucial role in determining the coin's value. A coin with a rare minting mistake can fetch a much higher price than an average one. In addition to the minting errors, the overall condition of the coin matters greatly. The higher the grade of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. A coin in mint condition, or one that has been carefully preserved and remains uncirculated, will always command a higher price compared to one that shows significant wear and tear. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are in pristine condition, as they can be considered rare treasures. Now, it's important to note that there are also some rumors about the existence of certain 1965 Washington quarters that contain a significant amount of silver, closer to the original 90% purity that was used before the change. While there's no definitive proof that these coins exist in significant quantities, the myth alone has added to the intrigue and demand for this particular quarter. This has led to a sense of mystery and excitement around the 1965 Washington quarter, making it even more enticing for collectors who are always searching for that elusive, rare find. So, what is the value of this coin? The 1965 Washington quarter, depending on its condition and any unique features, can be worth a good deal more than you might think. Coins in excellent condition, or those with minting errors, can fetch extraordinary prices at auctions. While most 1965 quarters are worth a few dollars above their face value, the rare ones have been known to break records. In fact, there have been instances where the 1965 Washington quarter has been sold for an incredible $104,000. Yes, you heard that right, $104,000. Top 2. When you think of collectible coins, the United States Washington quarter dollar series might not immediately come to mind as one of the highest value treasures. However, hidden within this series are rare coins, and the 1980 Washington quarter is one that stands out for collectors and enthusiasts alike. You might be wondering, what is it about the 1980 Washington quarter that could make it worth such a staggering amount? How could a coin that's just over 40 years old become a sought-after gem in the world of numismatics? To understand the value of the 1980 Washington quarter, let's take a step back in time and consider the context. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, featuring the iconic profile of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. For decades, this coin circulated through American communities and became one of the country's most recognizable and beloved coins. But the 1980s were a significant period in U.S. coin history, as the government made decisions that would eventually impact the coin's worth. The 1980 Washington quarter is particularly notable because, unlike some older coins that contain silver, the 1980 quarter is made from a copper-nickel alloy. While this made the coin more affordable to produce, it also meant that it wasn't as inherently valuable as earlier quarters. In fact, the coin's original face value is just 25 cents. However, despite this, certain examples of the 1980 Washington quarter have been discovered with features that set them apart from the rest. What makes these coins so interesting is that, in some rare instances, certain quarters from 1980 have been found with minting errors or unique characteristics that are extremely difficult to come by. One of the key factors that contribute to a coin's worth is the presence of these minting errors. A minting error can involve anything from a double die to an off-center strike, or even a misaligned die. These rare imperfections can make a coin significantly more valuable, as they turn an otherwise standard piece of currency into a one-of-a-kind artifact. And when it comes to the 1980 Washington quarter, some examples have been discovered with these exact errors, making them a prized possession for coin collectors. Additionally, the condition of the coin plays an enormous role in determining its value. Coins that are well preserved or in near mint condition are often the ones that see the highest prices at auctions. In the case of the 1980 Washington quarter, a coin that has been kept in pristine condition, free from scratches or other signs of wear, is always more desirable to collectors. The closer the coin is to its original state, the higher the potential price it can command. But the true allure of the 1980 Washington quarter goes beyond just its composition and potential minting errors. It's a piece of American history, a snapshot of the country's coinage system from a particular era. Collectors are often drawn to coins that not only have unique features, but also tell a story of their time. The 1980 quarter, with its modern design and relatively recent history, represents an interesting point in the evolution of U.S. currency, making it a particularly intriguing item for anyone with an interest in the history of money. So, just how much can a 1980 Washington quarter be worth? While the typical 1980 Washington quarter holds little value above its face value, certain rare versions of the coin can command impressive sums. If you're fortunate enough to own one of the rare 1980 quarters with a unique minting error or in pristine, uncirculated condition, you might find that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for it. In fact, a remarkable example of a 1980 Washington quarter with such unique features was recently sold for the astonishing sum of $70,000. That's right, $70,000. This just goes to show how valuable these seemingly ordinary coins can be, especially when they're a part of a rare find in the world of numismatics. Top 3. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, with some coins being worth far more than their original face value. One such coin that has gained significant attention over the years is the 1984 Washington quarter dollar. While many people are familiar with the classic image of George Washington on the front of the coin, few realize that certain versions of this coin can be worth a substantial amount of money. So, what makes the 1984 Washington quarter stand out from the rest, and why is it worth so much more than just 25 cents? To understand why the 1984 Washington quarter has become such a prized item for collectors, we need to look at both its history and the unique factors that make it special. In 1984, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Washington quarters for circulation, as they had been doing for decades. These coins were made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, a standard for quarters after the end of the silver era. On the surface, they seemed like any other typical quarter, carrying the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. However, like with many coins, certain 1984 quarters became notable due to rare minting errors or unique features that increased their value exponentially. Minting errors are one of the most exciting and valuable aspects of coin collecting. In some cases, the 1984 Washington quarter featured rare mistakes that were made during the production process. These errors could range from double die impressions to off-center strikes, misaligned dies, or even unusual wear patterns. It is these small, subtle imperfections that make these coins so attractive to serious collectors. A quarter with one of these errors can become an extremely rare find, with a market value far beyond its face value. Another key factor in determining the value of the 1984 Washington quarter is its condition. Like any collectible item, the better the condition of the coin, the higher the price it can command. For a coin to be considered in mint or uncirculated condition, it must show no signs of wear, scratches, or damage. A well-preserved 1984 Washington quarter, especially one with a rare minting error, is highly sought after by collectors who are willing to pay a premium for it. The coin's condition can make the difference between a few dollars and a price that will leave you in awe. But the 1984 Washington quarter's rarity doesn't end with minting errors and condition. The story behind certain specific quarters is equally important. Some 1984 Washington quarters are part of a larger narrative in American numismatics, adding to their intrigue. Coin collectors are not only interested in the physical coin itself, but also the story and history that surrounds it. Coins from specific years or with particular eras often hold a deeper significance in the world of collecting, making them even more desirable. So, how much is a 1984 Washington quarter actually worth? While most regular 1984 quarters are worth no more than their face value of 25 cents, there are some exceptional examples that have broken records. Coins that have been preserved in perfect condition or contain rare minting errors have been sold for shocking prices at auctions. In fact, one particular 1984 Washington quarter, with an especially rare error and in pristine condition, sold for the incredible sum of $63,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $63,000. It's an astounding price for a coin that was originally minted with just 25 cents in value. This figure proves that with the right conditions, a coin can transform into something much more valuable than anyone could have imagined. If you happen to find a 1984 Washington quarter, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. While the vast majority of these coins may not be worth much beyond their face value, those with minting errors or in exceptional condition could be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. So, next time you dig through your spare change, remember that a coin that seems ordinary might just hold a hidden treasure worth $63,000. Top 4. We're going to take a deep dive into the 1996 Washington quarter dollar and uncover why this particular coin has intrigued collectors and is fetching some incredibly high prices. The 1996 Washington quarter, much like many other coins in the U.S. Mint series, was part of the regular circulation coins. It featured the same design that has been familiar to Americans for decades: George Washington's portrait on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. While the 1996 Washington quarter may seem like a typical coin at first glance, it's actually part of a series of quarters that has become incredibly sought after by coin collectors due to unique features, limited editions, and some special circumstances that increased its value over time. In 1996, the United States Mint was operating in the midst of the 50 State Quarters program, which was a landmark initiative that began in 1999. Though the State Quarters series officially began 3 years after, the 1996 quarters were part of a transition period where collectors were still anticipating the release of these commemorative state coins. During this time, the Washington quarter continued to be minted for regular circulation, and many of the coins were made from a mixture of copper and nickel, which is standard for quarters. What truly makes the 1996 Washington quarter stand out, however, are some rare features that can be found in certain specimens. One of the key factors that adds immense value to a coin is the presence of minting errors. Minting errors can be a result of a number of different factors during the production process, such as incorrect dies, off-center strikes, or even doubling of the design elements. The 1996 Washington quarter is no exception to this rule, and some quarters from this year were produced with rare minting errors that make them highly collectible. Whether it's a double die error or an unusual strike, these types of imperfections can cause the coin's value to skyrocket. Beyond the minting errors, the condition of the coin also plays a major role in determining its value. Coins in pristine or uncirculated condition, free from wear and tear, are always in high demand. A well-preserved 1996 Washington quarter that hasn't been circulated much or has been carefully stored in a collection can be worth far more than its face value. For collectors, finding a coin in such excellent condition is like discovering a hidden treasure, and the price tag reflects the rarity of these well-maintained pieces. Another factor that has contributed to the growing value of certain 1996 Washington quarters is the coin's place in American history. While it may not have been part of the 50 State Quarters program, the 1996 year holds significance as a time of transition in U.S. coinage. Collectors are often drawn to coins that mark key moments in history or bridge the gap between different coin designs and programs. This sense of historical context can make the coin even more appealing and drive its value higher in the market. Now, you might be wondering, what is the actual value of a 1996 Washington quarter? Most of the 1996 quarters you come across are likely worth just their face value, 25 cents. However, when you take into account the rare errors, the condition of the coin, and its overall desirability among collectors, the price of certain 1996 Washington quarters can reach jaw-dropping amounts. One example of a 1996 Washington quarter with a rare minting error, in immaculate condition, was recently sold for the incredible price of $53,000. That's right, $53,000. It's a stunning amount for a coin that originally had a face value of only 25 cents, but it serves as a reminder of how much a rare, well-preserved coin can be worth in the world of numismatics. This goes to show that even coins from relatively recent years can hold enormous value, especially if they have unique features or a fascinating history behind them. The next time you come across a 1996 Washington quarter, take a moment to inspect it closely. While the vast majority of these coins will only be worth a quarter, there's a small chance you could stumble upon one that's worth thousands of dollars. After all, you never know when you might find a hidden treasure worth $53,000. Top 5. When we think about coins, most of us just imagine their face value, a quarter, worth 25 cents. But in the world of numismatics, certain quarters can be worth so much more. Take the 1998 Washington quarter, for example. At first glance, it might seem like just another typical coin from the late 20th century, but there's more to this quarter than meets the eye. If you're a coin collector or just curious about how some quarters can become incredibly valuable, then you're in for a treat. The 1998 Washington quarter was part of the regular circulation coins produced by the United States Mint, featuring the well-known image of George Washington on the front and an eagle on the back. This design, which has been used for decades, is so familiar that it might not seem noteworthy at first. The coin was made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, a standard that has been used for many years in U.S. quarters. However, like many coins that circulate among us, it's the rare, often unnoticed features that can make them stand out as highly sought-after collectibles. One of the key reasons the 1998 Washington quarter is on the radar of collectors today is due to the rarity of certain versions. While most 1998 quarters you come across will only be worth their face value, there are specific editions that stand out because of errors made during the minting process. Minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or even misaligned dies, are the kinds of imperfections that can take a coin from being just another piece of change to a highly valuable collectible. These errors are rare, but when they do occur, they can significantly boost the value of a coin, sometimes to staggering amounts. The 1998 Washington quarter, although produced in large quantities, was not immune to such errors. A few of these quarters left the U.S. Mint with subtle yet highly valuable flaws. These minting mistakes are what make certain coins so desirable to collectors. Whether it's a double die that makes the features on the coin appear extra bold or an off-center strike that creates an unusual, unique look, these errors create a one-of-a-kind version of an otherwise mass-produced coin. Another reason the 1998 Washington quarter has become highly valuable is its condition. Coins that are well preserved, especially ones that have never been used in circulation, can command top dollar on the market. If a 1998 Washington quarter is in mint condition, meaning it has no wear or scratches and looks as if it just came from the mint, it becomes much more desirable. A quarter that has been carefully kept, perhaps stored in a coin collection or protected from the wear of everyday use, can fetch a higher price because it represents a pristine version of a coin that was produced during a specific period in history. Collectors are often willing to pay large sums for coins that are in impeccable condition, and the 1998 Washington quarter is no exception. In fact, certain quarters from this year, especially those with rare minting errors or those that have been kept in perfect condition, have sold for thousands of dollars at auctions. For the serious collector, finding a 1998 Washington quarter that fits this description can be like discovering a hidden gem. But how much are these 1998 Washington quarters actually worth? While most of them are worth only their face value, a rare few can command jaw-dropping prices. One such example of a 1998 Washington quarter with a unique minting error and an exceptional condition was recently sold for an astounding price of $47,000. Yes, $47,000. That's a massive difference from the coin's original value of just 25 cents. This price is a perfect example of how the world of coin collecting can turn seemingly ordinary coins into something extraordinary. A quarter that was once worth a mere 25 cents is now worth more than many cars, vacations, or even houses. It's a reminder that there is hidden value in many of the everyday things we overlook, including our spare change. So, The next time you come across a 1998 Washington quarter, don't just toss it aside. Take a moment to examine it carefully. It could be more than just a simple coin. It might be a rare find worth a lot of money. And who knows, you might just discover a coin that could be worth a life-changing $47,000.